Good morning. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday morning. Keith Tebow from FRC Media. Time for our weekly chat with Mayor of the City of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm doing great. Sun's out. We're doing fine, Keith.
Yeah, I know. A lot of things coming up. I just want to get on a couple of quick things this week. First, we've talked about this for a while. The city's website, the city launched a new logo earlier this year. Any status update on when we can see the new city website?
I'm hoping it's sometime around the middle of summer. The company we hired obviously is very, very meticulous about what goes into the website, how it's structured, what functions it's going to have, and it's page by page bringing that stuff over. We're trying to eliminate things that we don't want any longer on the website. We're looking for redundancies. What's available for people in the line of permitting is also a big piece of it. Permitting is very difficult, but at the same time, it offers tremendous benefits for the residents when they can just go on a website and get a license or get a certificate or something. So those are the things we're looking for, and that's where we are.
Yeah. So far, everything, I know the timing, you wanted it a little earlier. We had talked about having it earlier this year, and now we're looking into the summer. Things budget-wise still good?
Oh, no, yeah, we're fine. We're
Yeah.
obviously using ARPA money on that, which again
Right.
will not burden the taxpayers, so that's a benefit. But those are the things we're working on, and it's coming along. I saw a couple of drafts of the home page, and it looks it really pops, and that's what I
Yeah.
want people to go there and make it easy to maneuver around and get the information they need. So
Yeah.
we're working on it. It's definitely going forward.
Another thing we've spoken about is your relationship with new governor, Maura Healey. I guess, I don't know, when do you take the newness off someone's title? She's been in a little over 100 days.
The
And I
newness
guess she's going to,
the newness was taken off the first day.
day one, right. After she raised her hand, right?
That's
It was
it.
done. So I understand she may be visiting Fall River next week.
Yeah, she's coming down next week. We're going to do a couple of little things together. We're going to have a meeting up here. Lieutenant Governor's coming also. We're just going to discuss some things that are important to the city of Fall River. We want to make sure our projects, whether it's Route 79, the train, school funding, public safety, infrastructure, we're going to run down a gamut of issues with her and things we want to see if we can get done. We worked well with Baker and Polito, and so far I can honestly say we're working well with Healy and Driscoll. She had me go up to the State House, I guess a week or two ago, to testify on a bill she wanted to try to get passed. So we have a very good relationship. We talk at least once a week, and we'll keep going forward.
How important is it when you've got a governor in the city to try to do as much as you can with them without overburdening them? You had the governor here, lieutenant governor, on many occasions. You want to try to show what's good about Fall River, but also make sure that, you can only feed them so much until there's a little bit of overload.
Right. I mean, you don't want to, you don't want to cut the line on all the other mayors in the city, but in the state. But at the same time, you want to make sure Fall River has a prominent place, and we want to make sure that Fall River gets more than its lion's share of what's being doled out across the state. We have a great legislative delegation. We have a great relationship. Obviously, I endorsed both Driscoll and Healy, and they were fortunate enough to win. So it helps, and it's the things that we do to make the city a better place to live. And I like talking to both of them, and I'm sure that the relationship will get stronger with time.
Yeah. Obviously, we've talked a lot about how the city has grown in many ways. There was an article in Harvard Magazine, I believe it was just published the other day, which talked about Fall River and sort of a renaissance that's been undergoing here in the city. We've talked a lot about how the media has had some negative stories about Fall River over the years, but this is one of those positive stories. And how do you think something like this can continue to help Fall River?
Well, any positive news or messages that goes out from someone that's not, living in the city of Fall River or connected with us, but looking at it with an objective lens from the outside is very, very positive. I read the story. I was like, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that someone's starting to acknowledge what's going on here. And no matter what city you're talking about, they all have warts, and we have ours in Fall River. But at the same time, the mayor and the city council and the people we were just talking about, the governor and the legislators, a job to address those warts and try to, diminish them and make the city a better place to live. I just think there's so many positive things going on in the city of Fall River. We can't lose sight of that. And, I mean, we have our own cadre of people that, that don't believe as strongly as I do in the city of Fall River and what's going to go on here. But at the same time, hopefully they'll come around and see that there is a lot of good going on in the city, and let's build on that and go forward with something positive. And I think that article in the Harvard Magazine was a perfect example of that. You have somebody sitting out in Springfield or in Ludlow reading that, saying, "Oh, what's going on in Fall River?" And again, this is what we want: a positive message out from the city, and keep the ball rolling.
Couple events coming up. We talked about the cleanups coming up Friday and Saturday of this week. There's also an Arbor Day event that sort of coincides with the cleanup at Kennedy Park on Saturday. What can people expect? We talked about the cleanups last week, but what can people expect
Right.
from the event at Kennedy Park?
They can come down and get a small tree if they want to plant something in their yard or they got a spot for it. And maybe they'll participate in the cleanup a little bit and take some of the literature that shows some of the positives again going on in the city of Fall River. I'm hoping that people from the reservation and that they're there to tell them about the new paths we have going out there. We've actually done some work on the roads out there, so you don't break your neck when you're driving out to the paths, so the walkways we built in the middle of the reservation. At the same time, I went by Bullock Street the other day. There's over 200 trees there, getting ready for planting on different streets in the city, different areas to try to create shade and to try to beautify the city. Again, I think people are going to be favorably impressed with how much infrastructure work is going on, even right around Kennedy Park with some streets we're doing there. And I think Arbor Day is important. If people get the message, maybe they can clean up even around their own house. And anything removing litter, as I've said 100 times, is positive. So we'll be there giving out saplings. We'll be there cleaning up litter, and we'd love to see you join us.
Just a reminder, on Friday, the cleanup is in the Industrial Park area, Innovation Way. On Saturday, there's actually sort of like a split cleanup. There's one, again, emanating from Kennedy Park, but also one, I believe, on the rail trail on Saturday as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a couple of them, and I think there's going to be more than a couple of them because people
Right.
want to do their own little areas, and that's fine. Anything, like I said, anything that's removing trash from the city, we support 100%.
And finally, this week, I'll be running into you on Thursday evening here at Bristol Community College, as you will be honored as one of the recipients of the Bristol Awards. It's an alumni association of ed here at Bristol Community College, recognizing alum and the work that they have done through the years. People may not know that you're a Bristol Community College alum. I believe in the early 1970s. We won't go that far back. But it's a great recognition for you and your work, and I'm sure you're appreciative of all that.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative. I try to, when I'm at Durfee a lot of times, and when I worked there for a long time, I told people the value of Bristol Community College and how it's a great place to get your feet wet and to get into education before you decide specifically what area you may want to go in. I think Bristol Community College set me up for everything I did from that point going on. I wasn't really a strong student in high school, but as I got to BCC, I started to figure out how things work, and it was a positive experience for me, and it took me to the chair I'm sitting in today. So I'm very, very thankful of what went on at Bristol Community College for Paul Coogan, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think it's definitely a key educational piece in the city of Fall River, and I support it 100%.
I believe at the time you went to the Durfee Street location back
No,
in the
no,
early
no, no,
70s.
no, 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 no. I was up at the new campus
Oh,
where
you
you
were
are.
here. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, Keith. I didn't ride a horse and buggy there either, so don't get too carried away.
What was your major? Do you
Probably
remember?
liberal arts. Yeah, I was just I enrolled halfway through the year because I had some other plans that didn't work out for me, and then
Right.
I took whatever courses were available and I got the ball rolling. But again, it was a very, very positive experience there, and I'm very thankful for what I learned there because it did set me up to have a great future and ended up in the mayor's chair.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. And again, thank you for joining us again this week, Mayor. We'll talk next week.
Okay, thanks, Keith.
All right. And as always, thank you for joining us here at on FRC Media. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.